I'm here with Greg Curtis with the Good Earth Greenhouse, and we're talking about signs of winter damage. And overall, this winter really hasn't been all that cold. But back in November, if you can remember back that far to last year, it got really, really cold. And we had temperatures down into the teens, and a lot of people just weren't really prepared for that. And there were a lot of plants that weren't prepared for it as well. And now starting to see some of the effects of that.
We are, Jeff. It's called hardening off in the fall. You got to get some temperatures in the 30s and even the 20s before it drops down to 18 or 16, whatever it did that night. And I got two plants and one behind me we're going to talk about. Start off with the gardenia over here. So you can see that really only part of the plant got affected. And so the customer's like, what's going on with that? With most plants, there's more than one or two cuttings in the plant. So there might have been a weak cutting within that plant, and that flash freeze that came got it. So what I would do on this one, I'd still wait and check in about another month to see if it starts to come out. If it doesn't, you would just cut that one section out because that's a totally different cutting, and then it'll fill in. And then the azalea behind me here, man, this is so common around Little Rock right now. Normally this would have 90% of its leaves on there, but again, that flash freeze, it dropped them. This plant's going to be fine. What I'll probably do in another month is start to look and see, but I can tell right now on this one, it's got buds all the way to the end. But if you're not sure, you'll just go in and scratch. See if I got a fingernail that'll scratch. You kind of see.
It's green there.
It's green right there. So it's okay. So don't do any pruning right now, especially on things that are spring bloomers. Wait and see if it's going to push out. We don't want to fertilize too heavy. You've got cottonseed meal in your hand, which is an organic fertilizer. Then I have Jumpstart here, which is also organic. You could use both of these just to have some nutrients in there to help a little bit, so when it does start warming up, then it'll start. Now behind me are going to be the Emigreat arborvitaes. I think between the azalea and this is what we're getting the most calls on. And you can see the brown tips right in here like this. Again, going to be okay. What you'll do this spring is come in, do this right here, and it'll flush back out. Use the cottonseed meal or the Jumpstart. Just don't panic right now.
So for the most part, a lot of damage you're seeing, just cosmetic damage. You can use some of these products here, the cottonseed meal, some of the Jumpstart, kind of help things along, but nothing too serious for the most part.
Yeah, give it another 30 days before you make any cuts.
Sounds good. That's about all the time we have for this week. Join us back here next Wednesday for the Good Earth Greenhouse. More gardening tips from the Good Earth can be found on Fox16.com. Click on Professionals to watch previous episodes or to ask Greg a question about your garden.
This segment is sponsored by the Good Earth Garden Center.